teaching smarter, not making the student work harder. Yes, paleontology, elementary paleontology, dinosaurs. It's coming out this spring for ideally grades 4 through 6.
We are getting ready to swap curriculums from classical conversations to masterbooks for high school. Can you tell me how the high school courses are set up? Are they able to be done independently by the student, or will a parent need to oversee a lot of it?
No, we try to remove friction points, so independent learning is one of the hallmarks of masterbooks. Occasionally, mom needs to be involved or dad needs to be involved just to kind of help make sure things are going well, but they're designed for independent study. If you did the biology course and you didn't want to invest in a microscope, you could buy the biology through a microscope book and have, between that and the science book, have everything you need for the course. Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Moms and Masterbooks. Hey, hope you're having a good afternoon so far. Today we're going to do a question and answer, and we have some questions. We're going to start with only 2 came in on Facebook, so we're going to start with those 2 on Facebook, and then we're going to go into the app. If you're with us, be sure to let us know you're watching, and if you have questions, you can ask them. I know we've got a ton of questions to go through, so we're going to try to go through rapid fire.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Okay.
Over in Facebook, Amber asked, how do kids retain info with less work? Please help me understand this.
Oh, I wish I had an hour to talk about this. Well, let me start by saying sometimes we can work smarter, not harder. And we have this conception that if we do a lot more repetitive work, that suddenly that's going to help retention. Now, sometimes practice helps retention because we build neural paths, and that helps us. But if you ever, I can give you a quote. Ready? For parenting. We teach what we tolerate. And if you think about that quote, it's just a few words, but there's an entire lesson in that and can actually become a life principle. You can apply so much. Now, I can do an hour-long message on we teach what we tolerate and what that means as a parent, but immediately you get it. There are smarter ways to learn. And sometimes we try to force academics to a student that isn't ready emotionally. They don't have the stamina. They don't have the developmental skills. And then we think by adding more work on top of it that that's somehow going to magically fix it, rather than addressing the fact that the child needs to develop holistically. And so the strategy that Masterbooks employs is a less is more approach. Don't do the drill and kill method because most of the time it doesn't work. Doesn't mean that we don't sometimes need extra practice. But what it means is, as a philosophy, if we apply knowledge and we have a joy of learning and we apply it that way, retention is higher. And we have a track record now. So we're not just saying this is something we hope. We've been doing this enough years and we've seen the test scores and the results from families who've trusted the process and gotten it. And so that would be, I've done a lot of videos on it in the teaching tips. And there's videos out there addressing it, but the short answer is we believe in teaching smarter, not making the student work harder. Awesome. That was almost really profound. Pretty good. That was eloquent. Ready. It was. Ding. I need a bell so I can ding it when I...
Ding. Whoop. Instead you just wanted to say hi really quick to some people over in the app. I'm not seeing comments in the Facebook feed, so I'll have to go back in there a little bit later. Melissa Rampy, Sunshine, Krista Clark, Jay Clark. I see Jess is in there. A lot of people jumping in, so hi. It's good to see you all. Next question is from Carrie. Can Masterbooks be used in a one-room schoolhouse type setting? I have a 3rd and 1st grader, and we enjoy doing lessons together, but I also need to challenge my 3rd grader a little bit more.
Yes, it's dependent on the subject, and it is also dependent upon how much you put into it, right? Anytime you take a course that was designed for a skill in a student a specific age and a specific skill set of a student, and you try to adapt it, you have to add some or take away from some. So you have to be creative in that. As far as the tool goes, yeah, you can do it. Now, I would say algebra doesn't translate well to 2nd grade, and so you have to be careful there. Math, language, some of those are more individualized, but you can definitely combine Bible, social studies, and science.
Awesome. Amber asks, what happens after language lessons level 6?
We recommend taking the placement test for writing strands, seeing where your student places with writing strands, and then placing them appropriately.
You're gonna
It's not really giving us much.
The Human Anatomy and Physiology 1 and 2. Can they be used for high school credit? And is there going to be a number 3 to finish covering the human body systems?
There's another coming, and then it's being combined into 2 courses. So there's going to be 3 books per course once we have all 6. You could use it as a high school level course. I would suggest maybe adding a little bit to it, maybe a writing equivalent or something like that to make it more of a high school level course. But you could certainly adapt it to a high school level course.
Desiree said, boom, eloquent. That's what you need your next. You used to have a button. What did it say? Whenever
Bless your heart. Yeah.
No, there was another one. It was a smiley face, and you do it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We have a box of props, so you do it, and whenever, because we used to have a lot of people for some reason would angry face, and so somebody bought him a happy face, so that whenever anybody would angry face the videos, he'd just press the button.
Yeah. How sad.
So that's what you need is the
just
boom,
in case.
Eloquent. The Sinclair fam asks, what style of cursive writing is the new cursive curriculum?
It's a good question. It uses, the font that it uses is a masterbooks font. And I know Carrie Bailey has answered this before. I think if you ask the question in either of the groups and maybe tag Carrie Bailey, the author, she can answer, or maybe one of the moderators knows specifically what style it is. I know it's been answered. I'm sorry, I just don't know.
Jamie Randolph said,
Bless your heart.
y'all have had so many dinosaur books that I'm trying to piece together for my son. Just wondering if there's a paleontology type course available.
Yes, paleontology, elementary paleontology dinosaurs. It's coming out this spring for ideally grades 4 through 6, but you could certainly use it and adapt it. But it's actually part now of the basic 4 set for grade 4. And yeah, it puts together the best. There's a teacher guide for it. So yeah, it's one of our more exciting course offerings.
Yeah, and you can catch that in the upcoming education catalog.
It's going to be available exclusively on the app
So
this week.
Is our next question. Melissa asks, is there a date the new catalog will be visible online?
Yes, this week, most likely tomorrow, it will be available in the app. And so if you go into the app in the digital goodies, you should be able to download the 2021 digital catalog.
Awesome. Boom. Eloquent. Amy Shap Ash said, I know it's been a wild, crazy year, but are there any updates on Masterbooks apparel? Right as soon as this video is done, I'm going to go into Tim's office and let him know. So if y'all could post that you really want it, and then I'll show him all the comments for Masterbooks apparel and say...
Second time this week that it's come up.
Yeah, so drop a comment, let us know that you want Masterbooks apparel, and as soon as this video is over, I'm going in to talk to him. Gotta remind him.
Good for you.
Jamie said, is the new devotion book Where Faith Grows appropriate for kindergarten, and should it be used in sequence before more than words?
It has a heavy emphasis on discipleship, so it's a little bit different than a more than words. You could use it in the same context. You could use it with kindergarten loosely. I think it's designed a little bit more for first grade, because there is some reading, I believe. But that doesn't sound very confident. But
there will be more information about that course
yes.
in the upcoming education catalog that's going to be available in the app exclusively first.
And there will be a lot more information coming out from that on that course.
Mm-hmm. We'll probably do some lives once it releases.
I would think so. That's kind of the way we do things.
We'll probably do sneak peeks because that's kind of the way he does things too.
I can't keep a secret.
He can't keep a secret. he usually steals things off the editor's desk before they make it out, and so they have started hiding stuff from him.
It's getting harder to find stuff. They even blocked me from files on the servers.
Yeah.
You have files.
I have files. We'll just have to keep it on the down low. Mrs. King said, will there be something similar to Practice Makes Perfect to accompany the Language Lessons for Living Education series?
I saw something on that. I did. I saw that they have that. So, yes, I am anticipating. I forgot what it's called that Kristen developed. For anybody who doesn't know, my name is Randy. I am the Vice President of Marketing here at New Leaf Publishing Group. This is my daughter, Brittany. She is the publicist here at New Leaf Publishing Group and Masterbooks. Kristen, my wife, is a curriculum editor, and she is also the author of Language Lessons for Living Education. So sometimes we forget to tell people, and then people get confused because I look younger than you, so people confuse me as being your son.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Farrah said, which biology course would you recommend for a high schooler who struggles with reading? I would prefer a biology course that he will understand and gain from instead of a course he will just struggle through.
You might enjoy advanced pre-med, even though it sounds a little bit like it might be intense. The advanced pre-med might be a really good course to do as a biology. The other one, and it's more of a life science than a biology, is the origins, the life science origins course. Wouldn't count really as a biology, but the pre-med would. You could use the advanced pre-med. And that's just got good information. Like it's a good course. It's not going to be heavy in memorization and study like that, but it's going to have a lot of good application.
Yeah. Cindy said, I'm so excited I made a live. We're excited you made a live. I really need like a little bit of confetti over here so that whenever we have an announcement, I can just go poof.
We need those poppers.
Yeah, just know that if we had confetti here, we'd be throwing confetti for you.
Yes.
Kaylin Beck said, are there any updates about when the Algebra 2 curriculum will be out, and will it be offered as part of the Masterbooks Academy?
Yes, the Algebra 2 curriculum is in the final stages of development. I think it's with the final technical editor or proofer. And then the final edits will be made. It'll be out this spring, and the courses are already done and in the academy. They just haven't been turned live yet.
And Kim Turbin threw some confetti for Cindy.
Thank you, Kim.
Rebecca,
is it Kim? Do you think it's Kim?
I was assuming. Maybe it's not.
Okay.
I kind of just assume people's names and hope.
I know, because right. I don't see an I, so it could be another name.
Well, KM Turbin, is your name Kim? Let us know. Jamie asked, will there be another morning basket added for upper...
It's Kelly. Oh, isn't that awful? You need to apologize.
Awkward. I'm sorry, Kelly. All these times. See, I've called you Kim so many times, and you've never corrected me. So, I apologize.
I'm so embarrassed right now. My face is turning red and everything.
Yeah, but she probably did it
and I
because
didn't
she
even
didn't
do it.
want
I'm
us to
embarrassed
know.
for you.
She probably just didn't want us to know it was Kelly before, but now we put her on the spot and she had to let everyone know. I'm sorry. I need to just stop assuming people's names. Jamie, she said, aw, she feels bad for me too. This is you made this awkward. And Joanne says hello from Australia. Hello. I wish I had more confetti. Jamie said, will there be another morning basket added for upper elementary or middle school?
Boy, I don't know. I'm sorry on that one too. We've used a lot of our books that make really good morning baskets, so I hate to just put something together. We have a lot of options, but it's hard to beat the morning baskets that we did with what we have. So I don't have a good answer. Right now I don't have one for you.
Or Wiersma said, so excited about Algebra 2. I just used the words excited and algebra in the same sentence. Epic. Confetti.
It is cool. It is cool. Kate does a great job of making algebra a faith-building course. How you can build apologetics into algebra is pretty amazing, but Kate does a great job of that.
D-Raps Mama said, we are getting ready to swap curriculums from classical conversations to masterbooks for high school. Can you tell me how the high school courses are set up? Are they able to be done independently by the student, or will a parent need to oversee a lot of it?
No, we try to remove friction points, so independent learning is one of the hallmarks of masterbooks. Occasionally, mom needs to be involved or dad needs to be involved just to kind of help make sure things are going well, but they're designed for independent study.
Rebecca said, when can we expect Let's Talk Science Level 3 to be released?
That is in the final stages as well. It looks awesome. I'm excited about that coming out. So that should be out, I would say, April, May is my guess.
And there will be a sneak peek of that in the upcoming education catalog.
For sure.
So, let's see, Jackson Mama 5 said, I gave my son a word-shaped sheet and told him he needs to do it tomorrow. He said, oh, I love those.
That's awesome.
Confetti. We celebrate everything. We have so many homeschool wins. Oh no, that's awkward for you.
That was awkward. Okay.
We just need buckets of confetti. I think I'm gonna do best. Ray said, will there be adventures in level 3 science curriculum? If so, when will it be released? I think that's the same. Adventures and Let's Talk Science. Those are the same.
Yep. So level 3 is coming out this spring. There's a kindergarten edition coming out later this summer.
And no longer Kim but Kelly asked, any plans for more art courses in the future?
We hope so. We don't have any right now on the project list, but we certainly hope so.
Vicky said, is in-depth video coming about writing strands going to be done during this language arts month?
Yes.
Got one coming soon. Now I'm scared to pronounce anybody's names. Mefroese says, we live in Canada and I'm curious if there will ever be any Canadian history or government curriculum.
We bought a company, Knowledge Quest, that has some Canadian history books, and it's something that will probably be released down the road. Right now our project list is so big that it's not on the immediate list in the next 24 months, but I would anticipate yes.
Missy said, what topics will Adventures in Science 3 cover?
Adventures on Planet Earth. It's a Earth science course.
Keep an eye out for that in the catalog. I'm excited.
We have spent so many hours on this catalog. Today, we finally finished the edits of the catalog.
It's been a long time for me.
Since October. We've been working on this. 64 pages since October. Maybe I did take a long time. I don't know. I'm proud of it.
It's one of the best ones yet, and y'all have adorable kids. We have some really, really cute masterbooks and action shots.
We do.
Tigers_8 said, can we expect Practice Makes Perfect level 4 by the fall?
I believe so. She's halfway through it, and usually those go together fairly quickly, so I believe so.
Jay Clark said, my question is about the new biology course. I'm not sure I want to buy a microscope or can afford it. So I was wondering if I bought the lab book and your kit that comes with the lab supplies and dissections, if that would still work to do the labs, and if you think I can count as labs.
Well, on the biology through a microscope, the images that you would find in the microscope are either in the science book or in the biology through a microscope book. In fact, if you go back to the in the index, it'll tell you all of the specimens that are part of this, or they're on a page in the science books. So if you did the biology course and you didn't want to invest in a microscope, you could buy the biology through a microscope book and have, between that and the science book, have everything you need for the course. Dissection kits in the labs, those are probably something that I would recommend. However, we are working on labs going into the academy, and so hopefully we'll have all of the labs for chemistry and biology and then physics to be done in the masterbooksacademy.com site, and you could do video labs. So hopefully that'll be available this year as well. I'm hoping before August.
Helen said, we are switching to masterbooks from another curriculum. Where can I find a way to determine which grade is appropriate to order for each child?
If it's math, there's a math placement test. If it's language, there's kind of a language guide. For your other subjects, I would recommend going to the grade level of the student and kind of seeing what the suggestions are.
On the masterbooks.com website.
Yes, one thing that you'll want to know is there are multiple solutions for some grades. You don't need to do them all. You just choose the one that's most appropriate for your child, meets their interest level, and that you're most interested in as well.
More information on that in the upcoming education catalog. We laid this one out so beautifully. We took a long time to lay this one out, so it just makes it so easy to homeschool. I'm excited that this catalog is going out. Cookies asks, does Masterbooks have any affiliation with the Answers in Genesis new homeschool Bible curriculum?
We have a strong friendship with Answers in Genesis. So we have been Ken Ham's publisher. We publish all of Ken Ham's books and resources, I think, for the last 20-some years. We publish a number of resources by authors at Answers in Genesis. We are not part of Answers in Genesis, nor is Answers in Genesis part of Masterbooks. So that's the relationship. We have a close relationship. Tim, our president, is part and serves with on the team there, but it's not affiliated. Masterbooks is its own entity. As far as the new curriculum that they have, I believe that that's the curriculum that was their Sunday school curriculum, and they've adapted it for a homeschool Bible curriculum. So that's affiliated with Answers in Genesis. It's not a Masterbooks product, or that's a standalone item by Answers in Genesis.
And it said, hey y'all, we will be moving by next school year, and our new state requires an occupational course. What would you suggest for a third grader as an occupation course?
Interesting.
What you got? Oh, elegant one. That's an elegant.
Okay, so I like reaching for things. So I'd be like, well, if you want to be a journalist, we did language. I don't know. I mean, anatomy and physiology would be one that you could tap for a physician or for a nurse.
Sounds like it would just be like an elective course, kind of for
Something.
younger grades instead of like introducing electives in high school.
Yeah, that's a good question. I haven't really seen what qualifies as an occupational course. Interesting. Paleontology.
That one would be a good one.
There you go. Paleontology. I mean,
Also,
yeah, a lot of the courses could be occupational, but in third grade, it's a little bit more difficult.
I mean, you did for like Gabe, my younger brother, you gave him books on like fishing, and he's something that he really enjoys, and he just dove right into that.
Yeah, I wonder if you have to have a course or if you can create your own using field trips, videos, and books on the topic or topics.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know that we have an occupational course without stretching, which, you know.
Joanne asks, when is the new dinosaur course available, and what ages is it for?
Dinosaur course is going to come out. Well, they're in the stages of finalizing the teacher guide. All the other books, it uses trade books, so it's going to be coming out this spring. It'll be ideal for grades 4 through 6.
More about that in the upcoming Masterbooks catalog. Hannah said, we don't know what they mean by occupational course either. Really hoping not to leave Masterbooks to fulfill this requirement. Desiree said, could art course be graphic design?
Yeah, I mean...
I feel like the art course would be able to count for...
Yeah.
You just have to do some more research.
My guess is it's that you cover occupations. It's kind of like health, where you have to cover fire safety or drugs.
Gotcha.
And maybe occupational occupation is just something that you would have.
But wouldn't that classify as like social, like My Story?
My Story might, because that has different positions. So you could do like My Story 1, which is your community and different occupations and different people within a community.
So maybe
might be able to check out.
Kisney family said, any plans for a typing or cursive book for elementary age?
There is a handwriting cursive book in the works. Hopefully it'll be out later this summer. It's not in this catalog because it wasn't ready to go to design, and we were careful not to get too far out in front of our headlights. A couple of years ago we did get out in front of our headlights, and it wasn't as good for us, so
No bueno.
but it is coming.
They also asked, any practice make perfect for language lessons like a workbook?
Yep, we covered that, but yes.
My Jazzy Life said, any way there can be an arts class in the academy for the elementary age, we would jump on that class in a heartbeat. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, we'll have to try it. If you haven't, though, in the app, Amy Shop does a great job of crafts, and those are fun.
It's
and
amazing.
so there are some of those that you can do as a group. And
When is the cursive book coming out? And that is from, I think, Jackson Mama 5's daughter.
that we're probably coming out in, it'll be towards late summer, my guess.
Rachel asked, my son will be in 3rd grade next year. Is he too old for Heaven and Earth for beginners? He struggles with most things, school, but really likes God's design, life. I think life for beginners, which we are currently doing. Would it be better to let him do something he enjoys rather than push him forward when he is not ready? He has a hard time with fine motor skills, and I think the tracing helps with letter formation.
Yes, I would do Heaven. I would follow your instinct on that. If you feel that he would do better by moving into the Heaven and Earth for beginners, and that he would enjoy the material and it would help develop the skills that he needs, absolutely do that rather than just trying to put him into a course that's designed for a student that maybe has those, especially because the higher God's design, we've actually moved those courses up. After listening to the feedback that we got from a lot of you, we decided that we'd be better to position the God's Design Science more for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And then we filled those in with the Let's Talk Science courses and the paleontology course.
Is there going to be an elementary music theory class in the future?
Well, there is a guitar course going live in the academy, and that teacher actually is really good at teaching music theory. And so I believe he may actually teach a music theory class as well in the academy. Wouldn't be a textbook course, it would be more of a video-based course.
He may do it slightly in the new guitar course he's got coming out. Maybe, I can't remember.
There's a little bit, but not much. Most of it's more guitar centered.
Guess where the guitar course is also pictured in? The upcoming education catalog that's going to the app first.
She gets paid a quarter for every time she could say that.
Gay Story said, when will Where Faith Begins, which will be released, and will it be appropriate for elementary, 1st, and 2nd grade? So Where Faith Grows.
Where Faith Grows, yes, it's designed for a 1st grade student.
Nance Farm Family said, can General Science 1 and 2 be covered in 1 year? And what suggestions do you have for a rising 8th grader who has already covered modern world history?
You could cover it in a year. I mean, it's 8 different topics. So if you accelerated through it, you could. It'd be a lot. But you could do that. As far as what I would do for an 8th grade student,
Who has already covered modern world history.
if they haven't covered the ancients, you could definitely do world history. The first 2 of the world history, what's world story? You could do the ancient civilizations, and then you could do the Renaissance, the Reformation, the Renaissance course. So you could do those 2 if they've already had modern history. If not, then you could always go into American history.
D-Rap's mama said, are there going to be elementary courses in the Masterbooks Academy as well? If so, which courses? Some of them are listed in the Masterbooks catalog, but as for the ones that aren't...
Yeah, well, we do. We have the math lessons for living lessons for living education is there, are coming. America's Story should be there. We have already a course for Simply K, and I mean, as fast as we can get authors to put together courses, we're trying to put them in for almost every course we have.
Randy W. asks, can the Intro to Astronomy or Geology course be used for 6th grade?
You could, but if the student struggles, I would pull off it a little bit, let them enjoy the course. I mean, if they're interested in astronomy, if you could do it, but just if they get, the other thing you could do, that's good, okay.
Mrs. Felicia asks, my 2nd grader is working in the math level 2. She has understood the concepts, but constantly gets answers wrong by being off by a number when adding or subtracting double digits. Should we have her practice more often than what's in the curriculum? Is this a common problem? Do you recommend anything between level 2 and level 3?
Well, we have practice makes perfect for levels 1, 2, and 3. So if you feel that additional practice is necessary, you can buy a practice pack, and you'd have some additional practice sheets. I mean, there's a couple, some of it may just be needing some additional practice with the application, more than practice, so to speak. Maybe they don't fully understand their facts, 2 + 2 = 4. So maybe like some of the flashcards, the right brain flashcards might be helpful in that case, or drill cards might be helpful. So I would look at that way more than worksheets first, is just some drilling and practice from that standpoint, playing games with it. What age was it? Yes, grades 3?
2nd grade is working in level 2 math.
Yeah, 2nd grade. I mean, maybe I have too much empathy for younger students, but I think we have to be careful. Like stamina is a big issue. The environment is a big issue. I've done a lot of teaching tips on this, that we really, so much is happening. I mean, sometimes just practice, play, crawling, jumping, motor skills, stamina, then making sure diet is good. All these things have an impact on the way the brain is able to process, to learn, to develop, the neuroplasticity of the brain. So that was a long answer to a question, but hopefully I got some, I dropped some answer in there.
Is Practice Makes Perfect made to be used side by side or in between the math levels?
It's made to be side by side. You use it along with it if you feel that an extra page is needed, or you could use it like over the summer, as we don't want to lose what we've learned. So let's do a practice page a day. Jen asked if the catalog is going to be in the app.
I'm so excited you asked. Yes.
Probably tomorrow. It will probably be available in the digital goodies of the app tomorrow.
Exclusively to the appers.
Yes.
Facebook
is so frustrating right now because it says that we're broadcasting, and we hope that we are, but it's not letting us see any of your comments. So we're sorry if you feel ignored if you're in the Facebook.
Once I finish reading through the original comments, I'll come back and get you.
Okay.
Homeschooling for him asks, elementary algebra. I'm not seeing when the DVD is scheduled to be watched. I know about the Academy. Since I own the DVDs, I wanted to try them.
On what course?
Elementary algebra.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. It's a different course. They're not the same. So Dr. Dale Callahan did the DVDs, and I love those DVDs. It's actually his daughter who does the algebra course, and I think she does a great job with that course. Kate Loop Hannon, who wrote Principles of Math 1, Principles of Math 2, does the Academy, and she brings in the biblical worldview into the course, which I think she does a really good job too. So look at the previews of each. There's previews of each online, and you'll get a good feel, and then you could choose which one you kind of feel would work best with your student.
She's saying that she owns the DVDs and wants to try them, but she's wondering when they're scheduled to be watched because she's not seeing when that is.
Well, they're set up. The DVDs have a schedule in them. It's not a schedule. They're not built in that way. It tells, like in the DVD in the menu, it tells like this is the chapter that this covers. So if you go to that chapter or that lesson, then you would cross-reference it and just play that video along with the chapter.
Leslie said, on that note, for teaching tips, could you shed some light and tips on what age where we move kids towards independence? I feel like I'm stuck at a point with my 10 to 11-year-old.
Okay. Yep.
Loving Mommy of 4 said, is the high school physical science going to be released before fall?
Probably not.
Catch
Wish it was. Maybe. Algebra 2 has been a bear of a course to do. And so that's taken a lot of resources out of design. We're finally at the point that we're finishing that up, and I expect a lot of courses to drop this spring. If we can get through them, then the physics will take place next.
Jenny said, what is the new dinosaur science and what ages is it for?
It's a paleontology course that studies dinosaurs from a biblical perspective. Dinosaurs actually should grow our faith, not tear it down. Secular humanism and evolution makes us think that dinosaurs were prehistoric, but we believe that dinosaurs were created during the week of creation, that they were actually on the ark. We believe that dinosaurs, the majority of dinosaurs had gone extinct, but that we can find stories about dinosaurs. They were referred to as dragons, and so we see a lot of different cultural stories referring to these large lizards. And in the Bible, we hear of the behemoth and the leviathan, which point to dinosaurs. I know one translation calls the leviathan a hippo, and it's like a tail of cedar with a hippo does not have a tail of cedar. So it's that type of information, studying the dinosaur types, studying fossils and practices, and then looking at things that you'll find different things in the books, like the radiocarbon, radio dating. My mind just went blank on all that. And what some of the holes in some of those theories are. Really just helping students when they hear dinosaur thinking, oh, I understand. Dinosaurs actually were in the garden. They were at peace with man before the fall, and were probably even on the ark.
BW Scott said, my first grader is struggling with reading. He will sometimes start out strong, but then begins guessing words. Any tips for teaching reading? Also, should we repeat language lessons level 1 again in the fall, or proceed with level 2?
When I hear that, now there's a lot of variables here, right? But when I hear that, it sounds to me more like a stamina issue than a skill issue. And so what we're trying to do is to build up some stamina and focus. Not knowing the situation, the first thing I would say is, is he playing video games? Is he watching clips that are producing quick rewards like video clips or anything like that? A lot of TV or social media. Developing stamina is something that's really important at that age. And so if he starts out strong and he's reading good, it could just be that his brain gets tired easy, he gets distracted because he's used to getting a reward quicker than what reading gives. So maybe, try to build it up a little bit more each time. Set a timer up and say, listen, we're just going to do this for 5 minutes. And when the timer goes off, you can go do something else and we'll come back. And then in a week, we're going to do this for 6 minutes. And try to build up the stamina a little bit more. Because that sounds more like what's happening. Same with me. I can focus on something, especially if I've had to be on Facebook a lot or in the videos and doing a lot with social media where you're getting quicker hits of dopamine and your chemically induced joy, right? I wrote that down for some reason today and I wanted to fit it in, so I just did.
Good job.
Thank you. So I would look for ways to increase stamina a little bit more if he's doing well with his reading, just building up that practice.
Before this video, I would have pronounced this name Kim Cray Bennett, but now I'm thinking it might be Kelly McRae Bennett. I'm not sure, but either way. Her daughters are 7 and 5, and we just started Masterbooks in January. My question is, should we be testing them in some way after a certain number of lessons? Does Masterbooks recommend a certain way to assess our kids of their understanding of the material?
Well, sometimes in the reviews, or you can use the review as a test. if you're in the if you're using practice makes perfect, you can actually use that for quizzing and testing with the math. A lot of it is application. Do you understand the material? Can you tell me why we do things this way? If they can repeat back to you, it's almost like an oral exam, if you will, to understand. Do they understand the material? That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for memorization to pass a test. We're looking for, do you understand the material and can you apply it? And so that would be helpful. As far as overall testing, usually they don't start testing until after third grade because there's so much going on developmentally in early elementary school. So we like more of a Charlotte Mason influence, which is narration. Let's talk about what we just learned about and let's digest a little bit. Let's learn how to apply it. Let's build our thinking skills and some of that.
Hannah said, we're getting ready to take the CAT test next month. Did Masterbooks have a coupon code?
Well, Academic Excellence was the company, and the coupon code I think was FIRSTCAT, FIRSTCAT. I don't know if the code is still available. That's a separate company than us, but I know that coupon code was available.
Kim Now Kelly asks, maybe she doesn't ask, she says, thanks for the stamina tip. My son has a hard time sitting still to listen when we are reading. I'm going to try to implement more reading time each week to help build his attention span.
Yeah, but also you've got to retrain the brain, right? So if the brain is used to a lot of distractions, it can happen in a large family too, where there's always something going on. Because I notice my younger children have a harder time playing on their own because they're so used to constant there's something going on all the time in the house. And so helping to go into that deep thought space is tricky. It's tricky for us as parents too, in a world where, the statistics of 1 week of the New York Post is the equivalent to what people had the equivalent of information that people had over a lifetime in the early 1900s. Think about all the information coming at us. Like, our brains are so overloaded with information, and our kids are too. They're inundated. Well, the brain filters out unnecessary information. And so in a world that's so full of noise and this is important, this isn't important, all of those things, we expect our kids to understand that when we give them a book, this is important information that your brain should understand. But then when you're watching TV videos, playing games, any of these things, that's information that isn't important. The brain can't really discern that. And so it's a challenge.
Over in Facebook, now that we're kind of done with those questions, some people saying the shirt that says Masterbooks Mom, #boom. Kelly asks, how do we get the catalog?
Well, if you've placed an order with Masterbooks, you're automatically on the mailing list, and we send that out. So that's one way to get it. We don't accept requests for the catalog until after we know that catalogs have arrived, because sometimes we end up just duplicating what we've already done. So they don't go on the website to order for another month and a half. When you place an order with Masterbooks, we put a catalog in the box, but the digital catalogs will be available. If you're in the app, or please join the app, you'll have access to the catalog in the digital goodies tomorrow.
Desiree said, wow, we're reading about and discussing technology in the book club right now in Israel Wayne's book. So if you're over in the app and you're not a part of the book club, you should definitely join that. They are working through Israel Wayne's newest book, Raising Them Up.
Cool.
And that's what I got.
That's it. We did really good.
Good job. Way to be eloquent and
Thank
fast.
You. Yeah. Way to be opportunistic and keep mentioning the catalog.
Which, by the way, no, I'm kidding.
That's funny. And
we're so glad you're here. Oh, yeah. I told him, I was like, I looked down, I'm like, I kind of look like a bum today. He's like, I was like, wait, if somebody compliments me on my sweatshirt or anything, I was like, let's make a bet. He's like, okay, if somebody does, you give them 2,500 reward points. And so nobody did, and I was like, if nobody does, then I'll know it was not a sweatshirt for work.
To be fair, we weren't gonna actually do a video today because we're trying to get our office, we're getting ready for some virtual conventions, so to speak, here with products. And so we're going to do some painting and stuff like that, and everything was kind of a mess. We had to postpone our language lessons talk today into next week. So she wasn't quite prepared to go live.
Cleaning up and everything. But Kelly did say I do like the coordination, and I feel bad for calling Kelly Kim for so long, so I think I'm going to gift her 2,500 reward points.
Okay. Well, now maybe you can at least do that because you know her name.
Yes, because now I know who Kim is. She's actually Kelly. Surprise! Confetti.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, guys. Well, hey, these were awesome questions, and we are super excited about what 2021 holds. New product coming out, but a lot of new faces coming into the groups, and people who are coming over from other curriculums and new families. We absolutely love working with new families, and we really want to see families succeed. Masterbooks, that's what we're really trying to do. We're trying to provide curriculum that's affordable, that's practical, that helps grow a student's faith, that gives families something to engage with and talk about. We look at as many ways as we can reduce friction points. We've been homeschooling a long time. So our family, we have nine kids. We've homeschooled for over 20 years. We've had all different styles of learners, all different levels of academic skill. And we've learned some things over the years in working with a lot of different curriculums. We've been selling curriculum since the early 2000s. We had our own business that sold curriculum, which we sold to Christian book distributors, and then we came on with Masterbooks to help develop curriculum. And a lot of what you find at Masterbooks is kind of the best of the homeschooling world. And then removing friction points. The Academy, what we looked at with the Academy, like there's a course for kindergarten. Well, who needs a course for kindergarten? Well, we know that after a lot of years of working with families of kindergarten students, that's one of the most intimidating grades because you're so concerned that you're going to mess something up and then they're not going to college. And so we asked Carrie Bailey, the author of Simply K, if she would do a course that would come alongside parents and just kind of help, like, hey, your kindergarten teacher is sitting right next to you and she's telling you how to teach the course and how to do it. And so that's one way we can remove friction points. Other ways, by having some instruction, by having just a little bit of extra to get you through those friction points. We have a daily schedule, it makes it easy. Just a lot of things that we do as best as we can to remove friction points that families have with homeschooling. And I'm excited because there are a lot of families we get this testimony a lot, that if it wasn't for Masterbooks, I was at the end. We were sending our kids back, and Masterbooks was like our last ditch effort to see if we could homeschool. And because of it, we are. And that is, I cannot tell you, I mean, when you ask, why do you get up in the morning and come to work? It's that. It's if we can help families succeed and enjoy the benefits of homeschooling the way my family has, and see their faith grow, see them be prepared to step into a world that's crazy, right? But we have such an opportunity right now. And so we'd hate to see that lost because of a bad curriculum or an ill-fitting curriculum or some friction points that just cause some issues. So same with teaching tips. We do teaching tips every Thursday, and we do them because we're just kind of, if we can provide a little bit of insight into some of the lessons we've learned over the years, then we want to share that. Eat the meat, spit out the bones. Maybe it's not for you, but for some people, they've never heard some of the concepts or parenting tips, and so we share that. So
cool.
That was like my sales pitch.
Good job.
That was pretty good.
That's pretty eloquent.
Awesome. All right, guys. God bless you. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.